What's going on, everybody? Stained Glass Assassin. Want to make a video because it's been kind of bothering me. Well, I'm sure it's bothering you too, but and I heard a few months ago, I think it might have been Gary from Nerdrotic, or maybe it was Young Rippa. They mentioned that they were going to change Superman's motto from truth, justice, and the American way to a better tomorrow. All right. And I recently just had some conversations with a few buddies who didn't seem to care. I mean, they're not comic book fans, but they didn't really see what the big deal was. But it caught me off guard because I don't think people realize what it is that truth, justice, and the American way is. Because let me tell you something, DC, you can suck it. Because first and foremost, Superman is a product of America. Clark Kent, Kal-El, is an American, a proud American. Truth, justice, and the American way stands for a better tomorrow. It always has been. It always has stood for a better tomorrow. You don't need to change it. It already means the same thing. Truth, justice, in the American way. Now let me tell you something. I know the narrative recently in this country has been that you shouldn't have pride in your country. America's not a great place. The American flag is a representation of, bigotry and hatred. Now let me tell you something. I love America. This is the greatest nation on earth. All right? We got our problems? Absolutely. We got problems now. We've had problems in the past. There are certain things that I'm not proud about, whether it's now or in our country's, past. But there's nowhere else that I would rather be. And let me tell you something. The reason why truth, justice, the American way has always stood for a better tomorrow is because the American way has freedoms. Freedoms that other people can only dream about. All right? People in other countries dream about the freedoms that we have because it is the American way. All right? I have the freedom to, if I don't like America, I can go elsewhere and start a new life. Go ask people in North Korea how that works out. They can't leave. They're stuck. I have the freedom to express my likes or dislikes about individuals in, politics, the media, society, hell, the guy down the street. I can say whatever I want. I can make a video about it. Okay? Ask the people in China what happens when they speak out against the government. It's not good. Okay, I can express myself. I have the freedom to wear Ninja Turtle shirts. I can wear earrings, tattoos, piercings, whatever I want. Okay, I can come out and express myself and be comfortable. I can be lesbian, gay, transgender, transsexual. Okay, and not have to be, well, okay, yes, America is not perfect in that regards. We still have a lot of work to do with certain acceptance. I'm not saying it's perfect. I never said that it was. But other countries, that's against the law. They throw your ass in jail if you come out as gay. Not in America. Granted, as I said, there's still lots of room for improvement. We still have to get better, but the American way has always stood for a better tomorrow. All right? There are people that risk their lives and they try to come across the ocean on a boat made of doors and tires with their families just for a shot to get into this country. They travel thousands of miles on foot from God knows where just to try to get into America. Why? Because they're looking for a better tomorrow. Because truth, justice, and the American way stands for a better tomorrow. Okay, you didn't need to change it. It always meant the same thing. Okay? Have some freaking pride in your country. Okay? Don't push that narrative that you shouldn't be proud of being American. All right? And I think one of the problems is that we, and myself included, simply don't appreciate how wonderful these freedoms are because we've never lost them, okay? I was born in this country. I was granted these freedoms. I've always had these freedoms. But talk to people that survived, the Soviet Union. Talk to people who have escaped from North Korea or China or Vietnam or wherever that had communist, rule. People from Cuba, you know what I mean? They'll tell you that the freedoms that they have now in America are wonderful and that you should be appreciative of these freedoms because, well, you don't really truly appreciate something until you've lost it. And that goes to all walks of life, but especially the American way. When you lose the American way, then you realize just how great you had it. If you are from another country and you feel the same way that I feel about America, that's awesome. I applaud that. If you're from Canada, Brazil, Japan, you should love your homeland. You should have pride in your country and be proud of where you come from. But that's not always the case in some places. And people are fleeing those countries to come to America for a better tomorrow. And furthermore, you know what? If Alpha Flight's motto was truth, justice, and the Canadian way, I wouldn't expect them to change that. Have pride in your country. Even though I know technically Alpha Flight is an American product, but you know where I'm going with this. But I just don't get it, DC. And I'm going to stop the rant now because I'm not going to, I'm not holding a political rally. I'm not running for office. But this only further illustrates, the downfall of not just DC Comics, but just, entertainment in general. Comics, movies, television, board games, toys, you name it. It's no longer about making a quality product. It's all about pushing a narrative, an agenda, and you know what narratives and agendas I'm talking about. But, initially I was going to make this video because if you've seen my other videos in the past, I essentially divorced myself from geek culture earlier this year because I realized that I was no longer the customer that their products are tailored to. And at first, I was upset with that. You know what I mean? I wasn't reading comics anymore that I was enjoying. Well, first and foremost, there was a lot of comics I was reading that were just not good. You know what I mean? The writing wasn't great. The artwork wasn't that great. So I wasn't going to pay $5 for the product they were giving. But on top of that, the ones that actually did look okay, the information inside of it just was, again, it was all narrative driven. And that's not what I want. So I essentially walked away. And at first I was pissed. You know what I mean? The first couple months, I was bummed that I wasn't reading Batman. I wasn't reading Avengers, you name it. So the problem now is that, I don't know how to describe it. I'm pissed that I'm no longer pissed, if that makes sense. Because now that it's been 7, almost 8 months, I realize that I'm not missing any of it. Okay? I'm not missing new comics. I don't care what's happening in Batman right now. I don't care what's happening in Avengers right now. Now, I still keep up with, like I watch a lot of YouTube videos, guys who, their content is based off of comics or, movies and those types of things. So I'm still aware of what's going on, but there's nothing that makes me say, man, I wish I was reading that book. And in fact, for the most part, it's always, looks like I dodged a bullet there and I saved money. I didn't have to watch Kevin Smith's She-Man to know that I wasn't going to enjoy it. Sure enough, looks like I dodged a bullet there. I don't have to watch the new Indiana Jones or the new Woke of the Rings to probably know that it's not going to be that great. Now, there's always an outside chance if it gets an overwhelmingly, positive review from the people in my personal circle whose opinions I hold in high regards, then I'll probably check it out. But thus far they haven't, there's nothing that I've missed that they've given the personal thumbs up to. So I'm not missing on any of it. So I guess initially I was going to make this video kind of like a public service announcement to some of my fellow geeks out there. Because I know there's some of you out there that are like me that were essentially on autopilot. You read comics, you watch every superhero-based TV show and movie, not because you're interested, but because you're a geek. It's what you do. That's what we did before geek culture was cool. Before Big Bang Theory made geeks cool, we gobbled up everything, okay? But now it's all political. It's all narrative. It's all, agenda driven. But I think a lot of us are, I know I was at least, I was just buying it and watching it just because I had done it for so long. And then I finally walked away and I'm not missing it. In fact, I'm still getting my comic fix. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of comics from the past that I've never read. Comics that I didn't even know existed, from the big two and others. Now I'm starting to dive into those. Manga, I'm just scratching the surface of scratching the surface because I'm only reading like 6 titles, but they're like 65 volumes plus each, so I'm knee deep in content, but there are thousands of other mangas out there. I'm not saying that every single TV show and movie is trash out there. Like the new Batman looks pretty awesome. I'm still pretty pumped up about Guardians of the Galaxy and Doctor Strange. The What If series looks kind of cool, but you know what? The rest of it, I'm not going to force myself to watch the Marvels. I'm not going to watch the She-Hulk. I'm not going to watch whatever else is coming out, like Eternals, simply because it's not tailored for me. Now, a couple of years ago, I would have forced myself through that because I'm a geek, but I've been liberated, I guess if you want to say it that way. So I urge people that if you're in a similar boat like me, walk away for a couple months. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You just pick up a trade paperback of the comics that you missed. Or probably just the floppies, because I highly doubt they're selling out. They're not selling that great. Just take a look at the sales charts. You know, you can always go back and watch movies. In fact, that's what I've been doing. Been going back and earmarking a bunch of old movies, not old, but you know, from the past, and TV shows that I've never seen. Like my folks told me, hey, check out Cheers, because it's one of like the all-time greatest sitcoms. Now I've seen random episodes growing up, but I've never watched it. Frasier is one of my all-time, favorite TV shows, so I guess it only makes sense. I'm actually excited to start watching the series. I'm not gonna have to force myself to watch it. I wasn't excited to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, and after I got through 4 or 5 episodes, it was like, ugh. But I forced myself to sit through it. WandaVision, same thing. I actually did like Loki, so I'm not gonna dog crap all over that. I actually made a video of that, so that's down there. But anyway, like I said, just walk away. Walk away for a couple months and see how you feel, because I feel great right now. I'm saving money, I'm still getting my comic fix, and I'm still enjoying TV shows, but I'm not upset anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not like, oh, well, here's another show about this a narrative. Oh, pushing this agenda, I see. Just don't even spend time on it. Just pass on it all. So, I don't know. Like I said, I just want to take a moment and share my thoughts on that. And, of course, the first half of the video because of a recent conversation. But either way, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think. Are you on board with the new motto change? And again, I respect your opinion. If you think it's a good change, great. If you think it's a bad change, great. Let me know. Either way. And if you're like me and you're kind of finding yourself stuck in this autopilot of buying comics and TV shows that you still find you're not enjoying, let me know what you think about the idea of walking away for a couple months and give it a shot. But while you're down there, like and subscribe so you know when the next video comes out. And hey guys, as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.